That sound could mean a lot of things. And when something's going wrong at home, the hardest part can be figuring out what the problem actually is. At Thumbtack, you can upload a voice message or a photo, and our AI-powered search will help diagnose your project. Plus, the pros we know have over 14 million five-star reviews, so you can hire with confidence. Thumbtack, we know homes. Hire the right pro today.
It's time for the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games at Southern Utah University in Cedar City. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of a Utah sports tradition at utahsummergames.org. Participate in over 50 sports around the state. Then plan to join the opening ceremonies Friday, June 5th, presented by State Bank of Southern Utah. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games.
It's the best station, period.
Let's be honest. These guys have the best job on the planet.
You come to work in a frickin' bathrobe?
So if you're out there working hard, you should also expect your radio hosts to put in an honest day's work. So of course, Jake and Ben are live at 5 with the biggest headlines and the best analysis in Utah. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. It is time for Live at 5, which is brought to you by Trajan Wealth. Call Trajan today, your local trusted financial fiduciary, 1-855-TRAJAN-1, or visit their website at TrajanWealth.com. Here's the great part about Live at 5. Anything could happen at any time. Mm-hmm. And the big story of the day probably remains Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. But we do have breaking NBA news, which I am totally surprised by, Ben.
Yes. The Dallas Mavericks say they have agreed to mutually part ways with head coach Jason Kidd.
Masai Ujiri, not a fan, huh?
I'm not sure exactly what happened here, but Jason Kidd apparently, the story was, wanted to move into that role, president of basketball ops, which Masai Ujiri now has for the Dallas Mavericks, and maybe was done coaching, and he is done coaching. At least with the Dallas Mavericks and this run, this era.
I don't think he was a very good coach when he coached in Brooklyn. I don't think he did a very good job when he coached in Milwaukee. I do think he did a pretty good job in Dallas.
Certainly did a better job in Dallas than he had done at his previous stops.
And navigated some rough waters. It had to be Luka's coach, which can't be fun. Then had to work for your guy. You were just talking about him during the break.
Nico?
Yes, Nico.
Yeah.
He had to then went through an ownership transition. And now, you got to guess that Ujiri probably wanted to hire his own coach, I'm guessing. I'd be really curious to see who they hire because that's a really good job right now.
I'm curious about how good of a job it is, to be honest with you. I do like Masai Ujiri a lot. I do not like the Dumonts. I'm really worried about their ownership if I'm a fan of that team. But you have a very good player in Cooper Flagg. You have the piece that's hardest to find, a legit, I think, number one guy. Mm-hmm. And you have it. And you're in a big market. Now, the hard part is they do not have any future draft picks. This was their last year to have a draft pick. They traded them all away to build a team around Luka, and then Nico traded Luka and didn't get picks back, enough picks back certainly to make it worthwhile. So that was a major issue. So they've got to figure something out to get some pieces around Cooper Flagg. And I don't know exactly how you do it. But because we know free agency is mostly dead, probably you'd have to trade Kyrie. If you can get something for him, maybe you build around that. But this is the crazy thing. This is according to Tim McMahon from ESPN. Sources told ESPN that Jason Kidd has 4 years and more than $40 million remaining on his contract after signing extensions each of the last 2 years. He just keeps getting more and more and more.
It's going to be expensive to get rid of him.
And now Patrick Dumont authorized Masai Ujiri to make this decision. So, yeah, this was Masai Ujiri's choice, though they said it was mutual. I don't believe that, obviously. And, yeah, they're willing to pay the price.
I don't think the son-in-law knows what he's doing. But this league is all about players. Sometimes bad ownership groups win because they've got the right player.
You're Jerry Reinsdorf.
Jerry Reinsdorf, your guy.
Yep.
The Bulls of the 90s did not win because he was a brilliant owner.
No.
Sometimes brilliant owners lead to winning. It can go hand in hand. But just because you're working for a bozo owner doesn't necessarily make it a bad job. Jim Harbaugh took the Chargers job. Mm-hmm. We'll see how that goes. But that ownership group's a disaster.
Yeah.
But you know what they have? Your guy, Justin Herbert.
Good player. And they're for sale, right?
The Chargers? I don't think so.
Or are they not?
No.
I thought the Chargers were just up for sale. I think of the Padres. Maybe I'm thinking of the Padres.
It's not the
Even
Chargers.
they just got sold. So I must be thinking of somebody else entirely. This will be interesting. I'm curious. I was watching the games last night between San Antonio and Oklahoma City. And I thought, where did the Jazz stack up against these teams? Can they get to this quality of play, this level of play? And obviously they're not there today, but we don't know anything about what this team looks like for the Jazz. And then for whatever reason, I was thinking about the Dallas Mavericks of you've got Cooper Flagg, and maybe Cooper can be in this conversation, to be one of the top 10 players in the NBA. He has that type of potential. But are they close anywhere else? They're not. They've got a long ways to go. This is going to be a little while for them to rebuild. So I'll be curious who they bring in to take that job.
Well, Kyrie, they're going to move him.
They'd
be really foolish if they didn't. They're going to have to lean into going young without draft picks, which is kind of an interesting challenge. But if you've got a player to build around, listen, what's the best skill Phil Jackson ever had? I mean this somewhat tongue-in-cheek. He picked the right players to take credit for.
Yeah. Yes.
He's like, I know. I can latch myself to that Michael Jordan wagon.
Strawberry. Go hit that home run.
Yeah.
I told him to do that.
The Lakers have Kobe and Shaq. Somehow Del Harris was too dumb to succeed.
You, Strawberry, hit a home run.
Okay, Skip.
Feels like
I told him to do that.
feels like I could step in there and take credit for Shaq and Kobe. Yeah.
You just think I might be the man for this job.
I'm your guy. And if I were a coach looking to latch on to a superstar, you could do worse.
Yep, you absolutely could.
Look at what's his name with San Antonio, Nate Johnson, right? Am I getting that right? No,
Mitch.
I'm not. Mitch Johnson, thank you. Look at that guy. Mm-hmm. Who knows if he knows how to coach a lick?
No, Ime Udoka got all this credit with Boston. He did okay. And now Joe Mazzulla got all his credit with Boston. It's like, yeah, well, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis and Derek White. It's a pretty good crew, actually. There's some dudes on that team. Maybe it wasn't all you, actually.
At least 2 Hall of Famers. It's a good place to start.
Good place to start.
Good place to start.
And look, Jason Kidd also had Luka and had some very good players on that roster around him as well. So maybe Jason Kidd's not the right guy. But yeah, they're going to have to get creative. They're going to have to get be interesting here, where they go. Sounds like Billy Donovan kind of starting to circle around the Orlando Magic job.
How does or not Dallas, but Orlando.
And
okay.
Jamal Mosley just ended up to fill the New Orleans job that's open.
Nobody has any new ideas, do they?
But Dallas is open. Portland's still open. Are those the only jobs that are open? Chicago has not hired their coach yet, correct?
No. They just hired their executive.
Right. So there's a couple jobs still open.
He should take the Portland job.
Milwaukee's filled.
Yeah, with your guy Taylor Jenkins.
That's not good for Portland. Speaking of El Cheapo, if they were the only job, that gives them at least a little bit of leverage. If there was all demand and no supply, that's good for Portland. Well, there's 3 jobs that are open, and inarguably they're all better jobs in Portland because you want to make more than $800,000 a year, and apparently that's what they're going to pay.
Yeah, they don't want a top candidate anyways.
Yeah, we don't want the best guy, so maybe it doesn't matter to them. They're going to really think outside the box, have the team coached by the same hockey coach.
They should do what Reinsdorf did. He hired a baseball guy to be their GM.
Come on over.
Hire, I don't know, who's managing the Portland Timbers?
So this is interesting. Honestly,
hire them.
It's probably honestly, if you're a Jazz fan, good news for the Jazz.
What, Jason Kidd getting fired?
Any type of disruption, chaos amongst Western Conference teams that could conceivably get good relatively quickly, and Dallas is in that conversation, the more chaos, the better.
Hell, if Jason Kidd was the right man for the job, I think Ujiri was a great hire for them. We can hammer on the son-in-law all we want, but he hired Ujiri, and he took a swing at other really good GMs. He wasn't out there to reinvent the wheel, which appears to be what the Portland guy is trying to do.
Correct. So we'll see. Yeah, but fun to be able to talk about that live at 5.
As it happened.
Yeah.
Happened just a few minutes ago. Jason Kidd out. Love the mutual part. That means that this is the mutual part. They said, hey, Jason, you're fired.
And he said,
can we negotiate on your buyout? And he said, no.
But I will leave the building.
But I will leave the building. And they said, mutual.
You have an agreement. We're in agreement. You're not taking a pay cut, and we're not going to let you be here anymore. Deal.
Hey, Jason, how much of that 40 do we need to pay you? All of it.
Again, it's a reminder, though, of how quickly the NBA changes. Again, I'm not riding off the Oklahoma City Thunder after losing to the San Antonio Spurs last night. In fact, I still think they're probably the favorites to win the series. Maybe they don't, but that's how quickly the league changes. But a few years ago, Luka goes to the finals with a good, not great team around him. And everyone thought, okay, Luka's here. It's going to be Luka's Western Conference for the rest of time. He's not even on the team anymore. The head coach is gone. Most of the players from that roster are gone. That's how quickly it changes.
Dude, I think I might be siding on, after seeing the details of this deal, I might be coming down more with El Cheapo, in all honesty. No coach is worth a $40 million contract, let alone a $40 million contract to go away. That contract for Jason Kidd was ludicrous. Uh-huh. That's what they're paying for average coaches nowadays?
NBA coaches make $10 million.
Oh, man, I'd cheap out too.
$1 million.
Yeah, right. And then if it doesn't work, I'll see you later. I don't owe you squat.
Get me some good players first.
How many wins was Jason Kidd in his $10 million a year worth this year? None. Yeah, that's the answer. Nothing. What coach is worth $10 million? In all seriousness, what NBA coach is actually worth that?
No, this goes back to the hilarious question that I can't remember, some Boston geek was the nicest word I can think of. Can't remember what his name is. He's kind of a national guy. Was like, if you had to start over in the NBA, you would take LeBron as your first player. He said Giannis is your second player. And I think you're going with Brad Stevens third. What? Brad Stevens? Why? Why Brad Stevens? No coach has ever been worth that much. Give me the greatest coach of all time. And then give me whatever the 30th best player of all time, and I'll take the 30th best player of all time over the greatest coach
every
ever.
time.
Every single time.
No, honestly, Phil stepping in and winning in L.A., did that say more about Phil or did it say more about Del Harris, who proved multiple times that he was not a very good coach?
I am not cut out for this.
Did Steve Kerr stepping into Golden State, is he some genius or was Mark Jackson just a moron?
Exactly right.
You know?
I'm not good at this.
Or even Phil the first time. Doug Collins didn't end up a broadcaster and not a coach because he was awesome.
Correct.
You know?
Yeah, exactly right. No, you're exactly right.
So... yeah, I'd go Coach Cooper Flag. You, Cooper, go dunk that basketball.
Yeah.
I told him to do that. But I'm trying to think if there's... I mean, Spo's great. Is Spo worth that kind of dough? I don't think so.
They don't win 50 games every year. Not even close. No.
You love Mike Brown. He's not worth that.
Look, you're worth whatever you can make. I really don't care.
The sommelier?
You're worth whatever you can make.
Would you give the sommelier a $40 million contract? Is he that important?
No, I don't believe they are.
No.
But... if you can make it, go get it. But here's the problem: they're going to replace him with another $10 million coach. Like this is just
they're going to pay $40 million
for coaches.
He could pay $40 million, but it's not. That's what El Cheapo in Portland is trying to prove.
He's trying to prove
they're going to set the market for coaches.
He's yet to do that.
To hire a young coach, you think I was promised, but it's going to work for $800,000 a year.
Well, they tried to hire the St. Louis coach, the coach from St. Louis basketball, and he said, "I make more money at St. Louis basketball than you're offering me." And they said, "Next." Like, okay. I make more money.
Yeah.
I don't have to take your crappy job. Rightfully so. So we'll see what the Mavericks do. Curious.
I wonder.
Yeah.
I wonder how demand that spot will be. Ben, the big story of the day, though, is the Spurs now have a 1-0 lead over the Oklahoma City Thunder after an absolute thriller double overtime game, which really everybody is casting the shine on Victor Wembanyama, and he was absolutely fantastic. But I do think, and you made the point earlier in the show, and I think you're right, I don't think Oklahoma City played even close to their best basketball.
No, and Wemby had a part in that. They only shot 41% from the floor. They did shoot 38% from three, and they had a couple of guys step in. Aaron Wiggins particularly did not shoot the ball well. Now, that was made up by Alex Caruso shooting 8 of 14 from three. He had the best game of his career. But Shea was 2 of 7. Lou Dort was 1 of 5. J-Dub was 1 of 3 from downtown. Like, very legitimately, they can continue to shoot 38% from three because those guys are better shooters, even if Alex Caruso drops off some. I don't expect Shea to go 7 of 23 because Shea never goes 7 of 23.
No, he's way more efficient.
He's a 55% 2-point percentage shooter. or 2-point shooter. It's crazy. So I don't expect that to happen, and they will adjust. These are great players. These are the best players in the world. They will adjust. Now, we had David Locke on the show earlier, and he said, Isaiah Hartenstein got kind of played out of the series within the first 3 minutes. I don't agree with that.
I don't either.
No, I think you have to have him out there. Because, yes, Locke was saying, well, if you put a big guy out there, Wemby's just going to scoot out and operate in space. I'll take my chances.
Yeah, I will too.
Because if he's playing against J-Dub or Alex Caruso or Lou Dort, he's drawing fouls or he's dunking every time. And those are actually way more efficient than Wemby out on the perimeter playing in space.
His point about the other side was an interesting one, that you have to get him out of the paint and not let him play free safety. You have to have someone who can shoot. Maybe.
Yeah, if you're going to make a commitment to getting to the rim, which you've got to get to the rim to be able to win, and Wemby's going to be there, it's going to be really difficult to do it.
And that was Locke's point. And Locke does get a little more focused on the offensive end than he does the defensive end. I wonder what's the lesser of two evils.
But Rudy was, at one point, the greatest defender at the rim in the NBA. Did the Jazz win the championship?
No.
And what did teams do? They drove past their guy and kicked it out to the perimeter.
Until you force an adjustment. Yeah.
Until you force an adjustment. Yeah, like you have tools too.
And that's what Oklahoma City needs to do, honestly. They need to get San Antonio out of their game.
Yeah.
That very much was a San Antonio-style basketball game last night.
Yes. You got to go back to playing your way. And they forced turnovers, and that did help. And that was not great from Steph Castle. What, do you have 11 turnovers in the game last night? It was crazy.
Sure did.
Honestly, you look at the box score, you might replicate that game plan with some tweaks on how you attacked and allowed Wemby to attack. I think you'd probably say, great, let's try it again. Because I don't think Shea's going to go 7 of 23, and we went to double overtime and had to lose that way. I don't think that's a bad strategy if you're OKC.
I guess I didn't even notice this as I was watching the game last night. Why did Lou Dort play so little? Was that foul trouble?
No, I think they also were having an issue. Well, I thought Alex Caruso was way better, and I think he got a lot of his minutes specifically because he was hitting threes. And Caruso was not. And Lou Dort was not.
Yeah, that certainly is true. Caruso went 8 for 14, whereas Dort was 1 for 5.
But, man, you can tell these teams are serious about winning. Obviously, it's the conference finals. Wemby played 49 minutes. Steph Castle played 49 minutes. Shea played 51 minutes. This is going to be a real slobber knocker going down the stretch.
So did Devin Vassell, who I kind of love.
Yeah, he's fun. Spurs have a great team. The Spurs absolutely have a chance to win the series, and obviously, and win the title. No doubt about it.
Vassell's like one of those glue dudes, though, that I think every team needs. And you look at his box score, you're like, meh. But what kind of an impact did he have on that game? Huge.
Hit some huge threes.
Well, and he had a big block?
Uh-huh. Yeah, he did. He blocked Chet. And that's the other thing. Like, Chet, you make $40 million a year. You cannot disappear. End of story. I know you're playing against Victor. I know you were used as a decoy on the play Locke was talking about where you got Shea on one side and you had Victor on the other because he had to guard Chet in the corner. Well, first of all, they're going to adjust on that, and they're going to bring Wemby closer to the ball. So fine, Chet has to shoot over guys, and he has to actually hit his threes. But Chet in this game was 2 of 4 from downtown, which isn't bad, but it only took 7 shots total. Chet, pay you too much to be nothing. And the trade-off has to be, if you're going to have a big 3 in the NBA, I'm going to have my superstar, and I'm going to have my number 2 and number 3 guys. And if you commit everything to taking away my superstar, my number 2 and my number 3 guys are going to kill you. That has to be the equation. If they're taking away 2 of the top 3, which they didn't neutralize entirely, but contained Shea and destroyed Chet, yes, the Thunder aren't going to be able to win that series. So those number 2 and number 3 guys have to step up.
There is an Eastern Conference Finals starting tonight. We'll talk about that and more coming up next. It's the Jake and Ben Show, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
I'm here on the job site with Dale, who's a framing contractor.
Hey, good morning.
Dale traded up to Geico Commercial Auto Insurance for all his business vehicles. We're here where he needs us most.
Yep, they sure are.
We make it easy for him to save on all his insurance needs, all in one place, with coverage that fits his business and bottom line. Oh, I shouldn't have looked down.
It's all right.
We're so far up here.
Look at me. Take a deep breath.
No, I'm good. So good.
Get a commercial auto insurance quote today at geico.com and see how much you could save. It feels good to Geico.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did she have to fight a dragon?
Nope, she bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.
Not only do these guys give you the best Jazz coverage in the market, they've got you covered with the Mammoth, the Cougars, the Utes, and the Aggies. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Jake Scott, Ben Anderson. Been a fun day. Big thanks to Locke, who jumped on with us earlier today. We'll have that interview up online in podcast form. Shout out to our friends from the future, the fine podcasters. If you did not catch David, we'll get that up on its own. But really, we can't encourage you enough. Please, just download the whole show.
Yeah.
Download it and listen.
Fall asleep as you absorb us.
We had a call in the other day. By the way, go to the KSL Sports app, use the call in feature, interact with the show, please. But we had a friend from the future who said that our moving time slot disrupted his. He used to listen at the gym, and now he has to listen during the day. What did he say he was doing?
Yeah, I thought it was just,
we could
just in
replay
the
it.
evening. He said he had to listen.
But
or
now
he was listening
he
next
listens
day.
the next day.
Maybe
and
he was listening at the gym the next day.
Because he was telling us what idiots we are now that he listens and hears our great predictions and analysis and then actually sees what happens.
Let's hear it.
Do we want to? Yeah, let's hear it. Why not? We have time.
This message is for Jake and Ben, and maybe Christian if he's popping around too. As a podcast absorber from the future, I usually enjoy listening to the show in the evening at the gym, but with the new format and the new hour time slot, I've had to change my routine. Now I listen to it in the morning on my way to work, and while I'm in the office. It's been quite an adjustment, but my favorite part is getting to listen to your guys' analysis and predictions and takes after the events of such analysis has happened. The NBA Finals is way more enjoyable when you get to listen to people predict the game after the game. So keep up the good work. You guys are shooting maybe 50-50, so there's some room for improvement, which I have no doubt you'll completely ignore, but thank you.
True.
Keep up.
Thank you, Jared.
Jared, if you thought we knew what we were talking about the same day, maybe you're the idiot.
You guys are shooting 50-50.
Yeah, we're wrong. All the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just kidding, Jared. Love you.
And people, the thing is, you talk about people always remember when you're wrong. Not always, but people remember when you're wrong or you look stupid.
Yeah.
We had where's somebody snapped in. We were talking about the 7 million pounds of cocaine and how it was 7 million pounds, like the
currency.
The currency,
Yeah.
not 7 million
pound,
pounds.
not weight.
And I got very confused. And big thanks to Jordan for snapping in. He says, I wonder if any pro bowlers had anything to do with that 7 million pounds of coke.
Because at one point you mistook pro bowlers for professional bowlers.
The clip I was introducing, it just said pro bowler Gary Clark, and then whatever the clip was about.
Adam Gase is on that coquina.
And I looked at Lloyd and I said, what is, because he was a lingerie football coach. I looked at Lloyd and I said, what does pro bowling got to do with lingerie
what does the
football?
PBA have to do with lingerie football? No.
No.
The NFL pro bowler.
But honestly, in my defense, if you're describing legendary Gary Clark, Super Bowl winner.
Sure.
I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Might have been an all-pro.
He played for the Commies back in the day. He might have been an all-pro. Great point.
Yeah.
Pro bowler. Anyway, I think instead of 7 million pounds worth of cocaine, I thought it was 7 million pounds of cocaine.
Yeah.
So thank you, Jordan. And that pro bowler thing was like 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Can't live it down.
No, you cannot.
But it was pretty funny, I guess. And, if I have to be known for making mistakes, I'd rather have it be that one than other mistakes I've made. Mm-hmm. No, we don't need to play anything. Don't look at him that way.
Christian, you got anything?
Ben, starting in... you see him on PTI. No,
I
he is a
hate
dang
this
legend.
He's Woody Page with us here on the Jake and Ben Show on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
You know what I need?
I'm on around the horn, not pardon the interruption.
Yeah.
But,
Nobody cares.
Oh,
Woody.
apologies. No.
Hey, we should never have had that guy on in the first place. That guy hates our community. I don't like him personally. Enough to not know what show he's on.
You know, I told you I did radio in Washington, D.C. this morning.
Did you do Kornheiser's show?
No, I did. It's called The Junkies is their show. And one of the guys kept correcting the other guy because he kept saying Carlos Boozer when he was trying to talk about Cameron Boozer. And I thought that. I was like, oh, I know that dynamic. Not that I was going to correct you for Round the Horn or PTI, but...
Why that one? Ben, starting in 25 minutes, we have the Cavs and your Knicks. And let's see, what is the Magic Vegas prediction wizard have it at?
They've got the Knicks.
6.5.
Okay.
Bing bong.
So everybody's thinking the Knicks are going to roll. Everybody thinking Cleveland is tired. Any thoughts?
Cleveland's probably a little bit tired. I think on the other side, the Knicks are probably pretty rusty. They haven't played in a long time. Swept Philly. I can't remember the last time they played.
Oh, Cleveland barely had to play in Game 7. Why would they be tired?
Correct. They also ran over the Pistons. So I think that's a good point. And you know what both these teams have? Great depth. These are really good teams. And depth, I think sometimes people mistake depth for your 10th player off the bench. No, do you have 5 good starting players? Do you have 5 guys in your starting lineup who can all go off on any given night to win you a game? And both of these teams do. And then maybe you have a 6th man or a 7th man that are both capable of doing that. And I think the Knicks might have a little bit more depth than Cleveland on that front. But both of these teams have a guy who can go. They have 4 guys on their team that could conceivably get 30 in a night, and be the reason you won a game. Jared Allen was a huge reason they won both of their Game 7s so far this playoffs when speaking of the Cavaliers. And the Knicks, we've seen Josh Hart out of nowhere can a bunch of threes, or Mikal Bridges lock up Jason Tatum and get a late stop to get them through the playoffs. So both these teams have depth. I like, actually, that while I think we're going to unfortunately dumb this down to Jalen Brunson versus Donovan Mitchell, I don't mean you. I mean, that's what the conversation I think is going to be nationally, because some of the people think, well, Donovan Mitchell can't go to the Knicks now because they've got Jalen Brunson. They simply don't need him. These are really cool, full rosters. And that doesn't mean I love every player. I'm not a huge Cat fan personally. I think some of these teams are very flawed. But I do like that this is like a pretty evenly matched series with good starting lineups. It kind of reminds me of 90s basketball. Well, there's definitely stars on the roster. All 4 or 5 guys really can play a good role.
The Donovan Mitchell thing to the Knicks is not going to happen.
Agreed.
Unless he's an old geezer. Why does it keep coming up? He might be like a geezer signing with the Knicks, like Donovan comes home. The Knicks aren't trading for Donovan.
No, I don't think so.
If they wanted Donovan, they would have traded for him when the Jazz were trading him.
Had the Nets had an opportunity this summer, maybe they would have gone after him, but I don't think he's leaving Cleveland. They're through to the conference finals.
Well, not unless they ask him to leave, which could happen.
Yeah, if they decided that, if he absolutely stinks it up this season or this series.
Or next year,
as
whatever.
We were talking to Nick Wilson, who's a host in Cleveland, a radio host in Cleveland, talking about kind of the mixed relationship there. What did he say? Donovan was about to sign a 5-year, $350 million contract? That's 70 a year on average? 60 a year on average? 7 a year, 70 million a year on average. Now, it matters what percentage of the cap more than the raw number,
It does.
But 70 million is a lot for Donovan. It's a lot of money. It's a huge investment for that type of player. So we'll see. Maybe there's a chance if they don't play well in this series, which I think they will. I think this is going to be a 6-game series at least. They're going to sign Donovan. He's going to be around. And no, the Nets will have missed whatever window might have made sense to bring him. Because at that point, he's going to be 32, 33, 34 by the time that thing's coming to an end and becomes tradable.
The key in this series is going to be keeping James Harden at the hotel when they're in New York.
For the Cavs.
For the Cavs.
I was going to say, for the Knicks. What are you talking? It's the exact opposite.
No. For the Cavs.
Lure him out.
No, they need to lock him in the hotel.
Glitter and donuts.
Yeah, right. Glitter and donuts, exactly. Wait, what's that? No, James, no!
Get out of the hotel as often as possible.
A little discipline from James Harden is going to be necessary.
It'll go a long way.
There's a pretty gal with a box of Krispy Kremes in the lobby. Don't let James near her! Stop it! We know who sent her.
So I'll be curious to see what comes of
It
this
is
series.
the honeypot.
I do
Totally.
I do think the front court's going to matter.
She's got a bottle of vodka and some donuts. No, James, no! Sorry. You were trying to move on.
I think the front court's going to determine this series. I think while the guards are probably going to cancel each other out, Donovan and Jalen Brunson are both going to have 30 points and 6 assists, and they're going to do that most of the nights. And the wings are honestly probably pretty equal. The Josh Hart, Bridges contingency will match up pretty well with the James Harden contingency, and one will do more on offense and one will do more on defense. But on the flip side, what does the front court for the Knicks do? And I would include OG Anunoby into that because OG Anunoby's just an unreal defender, and he's going to be tasked with slowing down Evan Mobley. And Cat will probably be on Jared Allen some, or maybe they switch those guys around. But can the Knicks front court do enough defensively to prevent Mobley and Jared Allen from having a big series? And on the flip side, can they find a way to slow down Cat, who is an offensive hub? He's a very good offensive player. He's a terrible defensive player, but he's a great offensive player. And can they negate him, get him into foul trouble, get him into where the issues that he's had in the past that put the Timberwolves in a spot where they wanted to trade their former number 1 overall pick? Because it's possible to do. And whoever can do that, I think, is going to the finals.
I think Jared Allen, I've told you before, I think he might be the key to this series. I totally agree with you. Mobley, too. But you got to make, I think that's where the Knicks have a weakness. They've got a center who doesn't want to play center.
And along those lines.
And doesn't want to do center things.
News just coming out is that OG Anunoby is expected to play tonight. He was questioned.
Wow.
He's always hurt. He's just one of those guys. He rarely plays.
But he's a good player.
When he's on the court, he's really good. He's just rarely on the court.
But he is going to be tonight.
Yeah, and starting. So it's not just coming off the bench. So these are great series. I don't think tonight can even get close to living up to what we saw last night. But you and I said before we saw what happened between the Spurs and the Thunder that this was a pretty good billing. There was a reason that these 4 teams all played on Christmas Day. The NBA knew that these were marquee games, and they faced each other on Christmas, and it just so happens now they're playing in the conference finals. That's a good sign.
This is probably unfair, but I probably would have fired Jason Kidd just because of his choice of glasses.
You don't like the glasses?
The clear, glasses?
Clear frames?
I don't know. He obviously can't afford Tom Ford's, or he would have gone that direction.
Not all of us can.
But
he didn't
And where is his glasses? He can't see without his glasses.
He didn't get tricked into wearing his glasses.
You like the clear ones or Captain Jack's red ones better?
The Sally Jesse Raphaels.
I don't like Captain Jack's either.
Christian, you've really taken to your glasses. Jake and I both got diagnosed with glasses. That's what I'm going to call it. Before you. You got assigned glasses also, and you wear them every day now.
Well, I'm going to get contacts.
Okay.
Listen, Christian
I actually hate them.
Christian was walking around nearly blind and didn't really know it, so he has to wear them. He's legally required to.
He's running over several people.
Mine, and this is just what makes the expense of my glasses so stupid. I just need reading glasses.
I'm with you. I use mine to read, unless there's a double overtime game on, in which there's no reading in the house. But I use mine to read. If I wear them any other time, my feet look like they're 1,000 miles away from my head. There's no way it's safer for me to drive in glasses that my depth perception goes all wonky.
Well, are you nearsighted or farsighted? This is very important to know.
That's why you wear them, because you get used to it.
Yeah, that's what they say. I don't believe it. I can't afford to hit 3 cars before I got used to it. Sorry. I didn't mean to.
I feel like
your
wearing
family.
my glasses more has made my regular eyesight with no glasses, I feel like it's made it worse.
Way worse. Of course it is. It's like wearing chapstick.
Oh, I can't even read anymore without my glasses. I'm just pretending to do it here with this monitor.
That's why you thought it was PTI.
Yeah, right. I'm just pretending to read over here. But yet, you two bullies are so bad with your stupid drop, I can't wear my stupid glasses.
And where is his glasses? He can't see without his glasses.
Hate this show so much.
You opened this segment by talking about how fun it's been.
Stay tuned. Yeah, and you ruined it. And you didn't even bring up a dead person this time, which is usually what happens.
Well, Macaulay Culkin's dead in that movie.
More next, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hey, it's your ceiling vent, so I'm dripping. Could be the rain, could be the upstairs bathroom. Yikes. You could hire the guy your neighbor recommended, but I'm pretty sure that's just his cousin. Do we know if he's licensed, or does he just own a ladder?
Listen to your home. Go with Thumbtack. Upload a photo or voice note, and we'll diagnose your project and match you with the right pro for the job. Thumbtack. We know homes. Hire the right pro today.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm going to give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car's gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
Just doing it big, you know?
Your home for the best sports radio for your afternoon drive is right here. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Two amigos on the airwaves, talking sports. They got him made Jake's and also loves his tie-dye. Ben's got style with his scarves. Oh my.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Jake Scott, Ben Anderson. Christian put a nail in the Chiefs' contention hopes earlier in the show. Doesn't look good with Rashee Rice, does it?
No, jail's bad.
He's going to jail for 30 days.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's a big deal he's missing off-season camp. But 30 days in jail, no thanks.
It's hard to be a true dynasty.
Oh, in football, it really is.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever served jail time and then had a productive NFL season afterwards?
Oh, yeah. Michael
Plenty.
Vick.
Yeah.
Dante Stallworth.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm sure the list goes way beyond that. DUIs, all sorts of stuff.
But Vic actually went to prison. I wonder how many people actually go to prison and then come back.
Yeah.
Going to jail is one thing, but going to prison,
Hard time.
doing
You're talking
hard
about
time,
hard time.
and then coming back out. I bet that list is shorter. Like I don't think Ray Caruth is coming back anytime
Correct.
soon.
No. Though he's out, right?
Is he out?
I think he's out.
You know who Ray Caruth is, Christian?
There's like a whole story right now because his son, who I think was the kid who was in utero
when his mom died,
at the hands of Ray Caruth, is alive, you know what I mean? And has had some developmental issues, but has become a Carolina Panthers huge fan, not because of his father.
I don't think I could be a fan of the Panthers. Could you?
Plaxico shot himself and went to jail, right?
He did. Did he? Did he go to prison? He might have gone to prison. You know that story? Plexico Burress shoots himself in the leg.
Cheddar Bob.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, right. And ends up going. He go away for a year? No.
I think he at least got suspended for a year for taking a gun to the club and firing it.
Accidentally.
Neither here nor there.
Well, yeah, it is. There's a difference between trying to rob the club and just being an idiot.
Shot a gun in a club, but okay, I'll listen to you.
Yeah, but he's not holding up one of the dancers.
Jamal Lewis.
He didn't go to jail either.
Jamal Lewis didn't go to jail?
Oh, Jamal Lewis did for trafficking drugs. I was thinking of the linebacker, Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis. No, Jamal Lewis. Also played for the Ravens.
Yeah, but at the same time.
Yeah.
They both won the Super Bowl. No, you're right about Jamal Lewis, but I don't think he came back and played after that.
Did he not?
I don't think so.
You might be right.
He was trafficking like a lot of cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
What's the running back for the Ravens? He didn't come back either. But I don't think he went to prison.
Ray Rice?
Ray Rice, yeah. But to come back and play, yeah, I don't know about that. But Rice isn't going to prison. He's just going to jail. I don't think they send you to prison if it's under a year.
You're probably right. I don't know. I've never been.
I haven't either. I wouldn't like to go. Have you seen the new prison here?
I haven't. I keep forgetting that it's just not in Draper anymore.
Oh, it's definitely not in Draper anymore. I'm with you. I haven't been out there. I wonder if the mosquitoes are as bad as they say.
You know what? Jamal Lewis did come back for a year.
Did he?
Mm-hmm. Came back for 1 year in 2006.
Does it say what he got arrested for?
He got arrested for. Oh, let me Apologies, I'm being slow here.
No, it was definitely drugs. I just wonder how much. Not 7 million pounds of cocaine.
Federal drug charges. Oh, good news. He was pardoned in February by the president.
By President Trump?
Uh-huh.
Oh. Okay. He was great at Tennessee.
Uh-huh. And was on the Super Bowl team in 2003.
Yeah, and
got
he was
arrested, went to jail, and then came back in 2006.
He was on Tennessee's national championship team, I think, too.
A winner.
A winner. Not in life, per se? Oh, I guess he is.
Maybe he is in life. He got pardoned. He's got a great book to write. So, anyways.
About running drugs while in the
Winning
NFL?
championships, becoming a kingpin, apparently, and getting pardoned. Interesting. It's better than my book.
Hey, dude, Zach Randolph was moving all sorts of drugs, and nobody ever thinks about that with that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't he the NBA's dealer or something like that?
Was he? That was his connection. It's not really a great thing to do.
Like that?
He
Not a great
also
reputation to
he
have.
also fought dogs too. Speaking of Michael Vick, and nobody even thinks about that.
Well, I don't condone any of this behavior.
Oh, dude, you're going to a dog fight today. That's what
Get
you're
a
doing.
wrap.
That's what you're doing after the show.
We have to record out the last hour. I've got a dog fight to get to.
If you could pick any two animals to watch humanely fight, what would it be?
Oh, it's got to be some type of sea creature.
Like a seal or something?
Swordfish? Like jousting?
Oh, that's kind of funny. Okay.
Yeah, water jousting.
Or like a marlin with the...
Yeah. Narwhal?
Okay. The unicorn at the sea? It's not the same animal fighting, but I always wanted to see the mongoose cobra standoff.
Oh, okay.
I tried to tell my kids about Ricky Tikki Tavi the other day. Did you ever watch that? You know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
That's crazy. I know what that is.
Do you know what that is?
This is probably the first time where I get a reference that one of you guys don't.
How about that? Yeah, I'd like to watch the mongoose cobra thing. For some reason, I'd like to see two squirrels fight.
Do you know where Ricky Tikki Tavi comes from? This is right up your alley.
Let's hear it.
The Jungle Book.
Oh, okay.
It first came out of the Jungle Book when that was published in 1894.
Out of the book.
Out of the book by Kipling. You have, if people don't know, this is not a bit, but it's been a reoccurring conversation on our show, is Jake hates the live action Jungle Book, not because the movie's bad, but because they changed the ending.
They ruined the whole message of the movie.
And it really grinds your gears.
It does. Well, don't mess with a great story.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when Mary Poppins floats away, she doesn't get hit by a jet airliner or something,
right.
You know?
Correct.
Like, I think that happened in The Simpsons.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. We've got the 6 o'clock hour cut on straight ahead. Stay tuned, Jake and
Not
Ben.
me. I'm going to a fight.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Summer is all about freedom, fun, and growing up. And between the ages of 9 and 13, kids are starting to form their views about alcohol. With more independence, their still developing brains need more guidance and support than ever. That's why summer is the perfect time to stay connected and plan fun, safe family activities together. Research shows kids who spend quality time with their parents doing what they enjoy are less likely to drink underage. And when kids feel close to you, they're more likely to listen, especially when you set clear expectations. In fact, kids who drink before 15 are far more likely to struggle with alcohol later. This summer, create a no-bummer summer with fun, alcohol-free activities for your kids. Go to summer.parentsempowered.org to take a quick quiz and discover ideas tailored to your family. A little time together can make a big difference. For more information and to learn more about how to prevent underage drinking, visit parentsempowered.org.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.